My name is Rob DeLyon. I'm the Executive Director of IION, which is Innovative Initiatives Ontario North.
In general terms, IION's role is to help connect or plug innovative companies into a larger economic development ecosystem. We take the client and we try to tap them into the larger players in economic development located throughout our catchment area. And what that means is just connecting them, providing them opportunities to meet with them, tour their facilities. Sometimes we'll bring a larger group directly to them, sometimes a conference call or a meeting here in our office, but just to make them aware of all the opportunities that exist and who's able to help them.
This is really about the diversity and depth of innovation within our region. And by the way, this is a great place to start and grow your innovative business. Well, there are a number of reasons why IION has been so successful. And the first of that is that IION has developed a number of unique programs that are based on real client needs and needs that touch on things from entrepreneurship, skill development, prototype development, productivity, process improvements, experiential on-the-job learning, product and business development, and also marketing, all from pre-commercial to scale-up.
We've been in business for close to 10 years now. We opened in May 2010. From there we grew very, very rapidly. Within about 5 years we were one of the top 10 craft brewers in Ontario by volume. Since then we've been continuing to sell beer through LCBO, the beer store, grocery stores, all your usual channels. And then we've also started to get into the pub business more recently, where we have a brew pub location up in Huntsville and we're working on another one for down in Bracebridge right now, in addition to the retail store that we have here, which we've had since the beginning. Well, it's a capital-intensive business and a complex business. When you're running a craft brewery, you're kind of running a sales and marketing company, a distribution company, and a manufacturing business all in one. And all of those pieces really have to be working well in order for the organization to work well overall.
BeeBag started about 2.5 years ago in my basement, basically. I'd been using beeswax wraps for many years in my kitchen, but right beside it were my plastic baggies, and that really bothered me, and I couldn't find a plastic-free bag on the market, so I kind of squished something together that I liked and came up with BeeBags. The really neat thing about beeswax wraps was that it kept your food fresh longer, so inherently BeeBags also keeps your food fresh longer. It allows your food to breathe. It acts like a second skin to your food. So things like half an avocado don't get all black. It really does allow your food to stay fresh longer. And people are talking a lot about the plastic pollution right now. No one's talking about the $40 billion that Canadians are throwing away of food annually. So it is a second big problem that we need to address.
Loft House is a manufacturer of non-ferrous metals, primarily brass with a little bit of aluminum. We manufacture products for our customers and offer a full service from engineering to quality, sales, the manufacturing process, the forging and machining, and we deliver those products through innovation and advanced technologies. So Loft House has been in the Burkes Falls community for 41 years now, so that's a very big accomplishment and has grown to this big organization that we are today, 155 employees with some amazing processes and manufacturing capabilities. We have seen over $50 million year to date since 2008 in investment, with the goal of being the most technically advanced manufacturing company in North America. So it's a big goal.
I started the organization because I wanted to spend more time at my cottage, and so I came up with a business that I thought would allow me to spend more time at the cottage and at the same time be able to fill a need that I thought was generally existed in the region, with too few cottages available for rent and more demand. Jane's Cottages is really all focused on the owner. and we try to have owners understand that they're our clients. The owners are the ones that we are really trying to look after their cottage first and foremost, and then from there we also provide a great guest experience, but our client is really the owners and making sure that their cottage remains basically in the same condition that it was when they left their cottage. Jane's Cottages was primarily a GTA type location where people were coming up from the GTA, but when I start getting cottages like this and start marketing them globally, there's always people that live around the world that have some association with Muskoka and they want to come back. They want to rent cottages like this.
Started about 1992. It was an idea that my boss, Bob Westcott, had. He found this amazing product called Corian, made by DuPont, a solid surface product. It was a tool that was being used in Europe and a lot of other sort of Scandinavian countries. He found that it had amazing properties and building properties and aesthetic properties that he was going to actually use in Canada and grow this business. The product had to have a buy-in as well, because they were doing it in Europe didn't mean that in Canada and the US it would sort of catch on. It has caught on now and it's completely worldwide. We've been really working closely with the designers since the early 90s. Working with the designers, they bring these new amazing products, new designs, so it's pushing our envelope as well. So we're always high in education, looking for different technologies to use to work with our product and make it better, faster, stronger, and more beautiful.
We started the work on what would become Metricade really in 2010 when we were getting ready to open the new hospital. We knew that the census in the emergency department was going to go up, and we knew we didn't have the extra doctors to address it. But we did know that we could leverage some predictable data, so the number of patients that would turn up every hour. We knew how many patients came every day and every hour of every day, and we knew that different physicians saw a different number of patients per hour. So we built a performance-based schedule to account for that, and it worked. So we dropped the wait times there and got some notice for that, and then not long after we were asked to do this for other hospitals. So in 2012, Scott and I incorporated Metricade, and by 2013 we had our first developers that were turning the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet version of what we built together into a real web-based product. Quickly growing. In the last couple of years, we've made entry into the US and UK markets, and now we're much further abroad in Canada, so East Coast to West Coast. And one of the most exciting developments was just this summer where we acquired Medivision, and that brought us about another 40 hospitals into our portfolio. And so now we're just doing the work of merging the technologies and the companies, and it's going really well.
SafeSite is primarily a technologies innovation company, and our focus is the innovation of applied technology in the mining sector. The impetus for the company came from just accidental discussions that I happened to be involved in with Epiroc, Atlas Copco at the time, looking for drone technology underground. And I was fortunate enough to know 4 brilliant engineers. Over Christmas 2 years ago, we sat down on a napkin and sketched out the technology profile of an underground drone. That's where it all began. Northern Ontario poses its own unique challenges from the perspective of we're outside of the mainstream corridor, Toronto, Waterloo, especially in the technology sector. A lot of the innovation dollars that come from the federal government are focused on that corridor because that's where a lot of the technology is. So it is a little bit more difficult to get visibility and traction in Northern Ontario, even in the mining sector where I believe the North is essentially the Silicon Valley of mining. It's still a challenge to take something from an idea to an operation.
Drillco started in 2013 with a couple of guys in their garage with a box full of tools and a little bit of money and some wonderful ideas. The real innovation began in late 2014 or early 2015, where we created the first hydraulic power pack system with a computerized operator control center. Drillco is the first company that's created the 3-in-1. So modular system that operates in all 3 applications, being underground, surface, and in heli-portable configuration. When we started, we really wanted to be a Northern Ontario story. We used 12 to 14 suppliers, both on the service side and on the product side. Everything that we build here is either made, manufactured, or comes from Northern Ontario. We've gone through all the development. We've been able to prototype and move to demonstration units, and now we've got commercialized units working around the world.
We are actually celebrating our 80th anniversary this July. We're very well known for our fresh curds that come out every Monday. Tuesday is our fresh cheddar day, which is a very busy day in the store. And we do a wide range of artisanal cheeses as well, blues, bries, the Italian style cheeses. And we are first in Canada to introduce grass-fed cheeses. So that is cheese made with milk that's been verified to meet the Dairy Farmers of Ontario's grass feeding standard. The standard was developed by Dairy Farmers of Ontario along with Thornlow Cheese and working with our local farmers here in Temiskaming. You've heard of grass-fed beef and grass-fed butter, but there hadn't been a cheese. About a year after the cheese was launched, we launched our butters as well. We have been awarded Grand Champion for butter at the Royal Winter Fair 2 years in a row for our unsalted butter. So literally it's the best butter in Canada.
.3H was founded in 1973 by my father, Heinz Dittman, with two other partners. The three partners' first names all started with an H, and that's where the 3H's came from. Primarily, we made residential furniture at that time, up until about 1993, where we switched to making office furniture. Today, that's our only focus. We don't make any more residential furniture at this time. Probably the number one innovation is we develop all our own software to run the business. The philosophy is if I buy software from the open market, I gain no competitive advantage, and I'm also tied to a vendor. Making changes, adapting to business changes is harder to do. So we develop everything in-house with the exception of the accounting system. That's the one area. The second one would be the innovation and the products we develop. A lot of the product development's done in-house. We have a few projects we've worked with outside designers, but primarily the product is developed in-house also, and we continue to try to introduce new materials, new processes, and innovate in the designs of the products.
When we connect clients to the broader economic development ecosystem, that's tapping into our customized support services tailored to meet those individual needs. Business advisory services, navigation to other private and public support opportunities, as well as connection to experts and other support growth opportunities that I refer to in terms of outside programs or mentorship opportunities that exist for them to develop to the next level.
It's not just the grant side of it, but it's just the associations that they have with other technical organizations that I find really great as an entrepreneur.
You know, one of the most important things early on was they just connected us with all of the people that we needed to talk to make this into like a real company. So the networking was great, you know, just as valuable as the money.
They've also acted as a business liaison group, and they've introduced us to several other organizations that may be able to help as we're moving our business forward. One of those introductions was with Canadore College iCamp. When we were introduced to iCamp, we were able to not only use some of the students and their engineering department, but iCamp has become one of our main suppliers who does all of our water jet cutting for all of the panels on our drills.
iCamp is the Innovation Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Prototyping. Canadore College took the leap of faith with our industries to actually create this one-of-a-kind technology service for the region, and we're leading the way. We've serviced over 550 different companies in the last 6 years. iCamp's relationship to IION is that we work collaborative. If industry is looking for new technology, looking to advance prototyping, or there's a need for new people, staffing for companies, we work together, we plan together, we build programs, we go for funding together. It's really a great partnership where we're basically servicing their clients at the same time as they service our clients. These bags came to iCamp through IION. IION will bring us lots of different clients. This one was really interesting, that we can help a company in Northern Ontario build a machine that is going to help their business grow. IION and iCamp met. We designed up a machine that they could use. Prototype 1 went very well, helping them do their production a lot quicker. We built a larger one for larger bags, and everything's going really well with them on that. So allowing companies to keep their business in Canada, that's one thing that iCamp always wanted to do.
And we need to work at the speed of business. I think that's the most important takeaway, is that companies have needs and they need to be not only filled, but filled at a speed that's going to work for them.
I send in my application and I'm able to get feedback right away, and then when they do the funding, when they're announcing or reviewing applications, we know within a week.
Their process is not cumbersome, it's not long and drawn out, their approvals come quickly, therefore the opportunity's there for the business and they don't miss out because of waiting for appropriate funding. IION is there to support them right away.
They've really been hands-on through every step of the way. They've supported me as much as they could. They didn't just sort of drop and go. It's been really, how can they help to expedite the business and make it grow?
They're proactive about helping us with things that they know are a good fit for us. So if there's a new grant announced by any funding agency, we can pretty much expect a phone call or an email from Matt saying, hey, we think this is a good fit for you guys. You know, here's the people that you need to talk to.
So they've been sort of a star in showing us what we need to do to stay on top of things as well. We've also used them for capital improvement. We recently purchased a 3D printer, which is helping us make molds, which is keeping all of the things that we do in-house as opposed to going outside and going down south, making purchases there, keeping workers and keeping employees, busy here.
We never maybe would have tried our 3D printer as early as we did if we didn't have the opportunity through IION to train someone, put them through the program, and then be able to purchase our 3D printer. And that 3D printer has just proven that there's new ways to do things faster, more effective, more efficient. It just is making us that much more competitive as a company.
We've also worked with some of the programs for youth internships and hiring young people to come in and work in various aspects of the business, which has been really helpful to us for getting some great new staff in, and I think helpful to the younger people as well for gaining some good work experience. And then just the direct funding for some of the equipment expenditures we've made has been helpful as well in terms of improving efficiency within our brewery and allowing us to kind of stay on top of the latest trends in technology.
Because they're sort of friends in the north, they're really close, very accessible by phone call, by email, very responsive all the time, really great team.
Each of the IION employees know their programs extremely well. They've got a deep knowledge of how their programs work and how their programs are able to be adapted and put into a business sense where it would be beneficial for us to use them.
In every situation that I've received funding from IION, I have grown the company.
Since the past couple of years when we've been associated with IION, we have increased our number of employees, we've increased our overall revenue, we've definitely increased our brand.
IION is filling a niche where they're helping companies find out what's available to them and building them up and saying, hey, this is easy, let us help you, this is what's available to you.
We took our napkin idea to them at the napkin point. And there's not a lot of funding organizations that really will want to talk to you when you're carrying a napkin around. IION's focus was more, okay, you got an idea, how can we help you?
IION was there right from the early days when we were first starting up, but just as importantly as we were moving through our innovation and development stage, the programs they have were there to continue to help and assist and allow our companies to grow at a very fast rate.
Getting money is easy, so to speak. Sustaining the support to effectively utilizing that capital is really what's important. So we were able to create a solid relationship with the folks at IION very early in the game, and they were then able to say, oh, now that we understand you, here are the programs we have and the programs that will be a best fit. And they also were pretty clear on the fact that this was not a one-time interaction, that they had funding programs that were meant to help us through the life cycle of the company's evolution.
Well, long-term relationships are important because we know that the bulk of our clients that are innovative, a process of innovation is an ongoing process. It doesn't stop. They're constantly looking at new products, new processes, new services. So really, the most successful companies, you could call them, they are serial entrepreneurs. They are serial innovators.
Staying in the forefront and being on top of innovation is always something that's been very important to us, and making sure that we're investing in the most up-to-date technologies to produce quality beer.
In order to stay ahead of the game where people are interested in your products, if you just keep making the same old thing, you lose touch with your marketplace. So you've got to keep things interesting and stay on top of what the market's looking for. So without innovation, you're going to fall behind. There's not a lot of wagon wheel manufacturers left in the world. Not a lot of wagons.
We have a definition of innovation that we use within the office, and that's innovation is defined as a company creating a newer, refreshed product, process, or service that creates economic value in terms of revenue and job creation. So continued revenue for the company, which will lead to increased employment opportunities at the company. All of our clients are required to have an innovative aspect to them, and that's really the core mandate of IION.
We will be developing more specific and relevant funding programs, all designed to accelerate more growth among innovative companies. We do plan to become increasingly a problem-solving innovation center, a solutions management innovation center. We want to help to address additional skills and employees working for employers. We want to also continue to strengthen the innovation ecosystem, and also we want to develop programs designed to accelerate and facilitate technology adoption among our innovative companies, because it's innovative companies that create new jobs, new processes, new products. So without innovation, how do we grow?